Hello and welcome to this video where I'll be sharing a walk I did up to Bleaklow Head from Crowden. From the car park I headed west to join the Pennine Way and cross the Torside Reservoir Dam. However, when I got there the footpath was impassable due to maintenance work, so I followed the diversion around Woodhead Reservoir. Then, after a brief encounter with the Trans-Pennine Trail, it was up the side of Torside Clough to Bleaklow Head. From here, I headed over to Bleaklow Hill, and then down to the Woodhead Tunnel portals. After having a look round there, it was just back along the valley to Crowden. So, time to get going. So the car is parked down there. I'm just walking up this track to meet the Pennine Way, which will be just over this crest, and off to our right we've got nice views up towards Black Hill. Okay, so today I'm coming up from the valley that the Woodhead Road runs through, and I'll be going up Bleaklow to start with. I may extend it a little bit, but I've got a slightly late start today, meaning it's a bit warmer now and I don't have as much time today, so I may just go up Bleaklow and then back down, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm making my way down the Pennine Way now towards the reservoir, but looking across the valley I can just about make out the path, where the path goes, which is up there and then up to the top. So this is the road I came up on, which I'm now going to cross just over there. And it was really busy just now, but it's calmed down a bit. I think it was just a queue of cars behind a lorry. I'm now walking through a very pleasant little area of trees next to the reservoir. I've just noticed there are lots of construction vehicles on the dam that the path goes along, so I hope it's open or I'll have to come up with an alternative walk. So yes, unfortunately the Pennine Way is closed at this reservoir, so apparently they needed to do some maintenance and improvement work for vague reasons that they've not really explained. But anyway, the diversion will be to walk just over 1 kilometre to the bottom of Woodhead Reservoir and then back up the other side. So yeah, I think I'll do that. So it's not too far. Yeah. Although on this official notice it says no alternative route recommended. Well, there's part of the diversion. But anyway, I'm now walking back up the other side of Woodhead Reservoir. So I was just walking along and had a quick look at the map, and I've realised that I think up on that old railway embankment up there is where the Trans-Pennine Trail runs. And I'm just on a footpath running parallel to it. It's quite a nice little viewpoint here, just next to a footpath. You can look over to see the cascade next to the dam. So we've hit a diversion again. Echo. Oh, so I did get to go on the Pennine Trail anyway. So here we are at the meeting of the trails. Pennine Way one way, Pennine Trail the other way. So I want to go this way, and we'll be heading roughly up in that direction, up Torside Clough. So I've just crossed the road here, which is not a great place to have a crossing. But anyway, despite this sign, I think the path is up this way. So we've just made it to the end of this track, and the Pennine Way now goes up this path. Past this farmhouse with rather fantastic views. Now you see signs like this in various places around the Peak District, and I do think they're nice. So thank you to the Peak and Northern Footpath Society. So I've stopped to have a drink and get my poles out because it's been quite steep going up here. But we've now got quite a nice view of Torside Clough, which is an impressive little valley. Anyway, onwards and upwards. So I'm now leaving Torside Clough behind me and heading across the moorland towards Bleaklow Head, which is pretty much straight ahead of us. Right, it's about lunchtime now, so I found a nice little rock to sit on. I can look back down the way I came. So that was my lunch spot up there, and I'm all refueled now, so heading off towards Bleaklow Head again. I met a few people walking past as I was having lunch, which was nice. A couple of them stopped to have a quick chat. One of them was doing the whole Pennine Way. He was looking a little bit tired, so I think he'd had a tough day so far. One of these days I'd like to do the whole thing. It's a long-term ambition. It'll take a fair bit of planning and preparation though, as well as the practical aspects of getting enough time off to actually do it. So I'm on my way down from Bleaklow now, or I'm about to be on my way down, and it's really interesting up here. It's a brilliant sort of terrain. It's really interesting with a mix of peat, a little bit of bog, heather and rocks. So it's definitely not boring underfoot, although it's not easy, at least not all the time. And you do get brilliant views kind of all the way around. And I'm sure they'd be even better if it wasn't as hazy as it is today. So yeah, lovely up here. But yeah, so on my route back to the car, I've adjusted where I'm going a little bit to avoid the diversion, having to do that twice. So I'm going to be going around the north of the reservoir instead of across the dam, and I think that route will be fine. Should be just as interesting, but just slightly longer than the way down I had planned. I'm now following this faint path, which is in a slightly different place to where the map says it should be, but it's going in the right direction. So I'm gonna follow it for now and just keep an eye on my bearing. After following the path a little further, it started to descend on the south side of Bleaklow, so I turned off, cutting up towards the ridge where I wanted to be. I'm now heading roughly in the direction of some stones over there that you might be able to see, called near Bleaklow stones. And after that, I'm just going to carry on in roughly a straight line and end up in a little valley where there's a path that should take me down to the road. Oh, did you see that rabbit? Look at that, that's a good sized rabbit. I saw one earlier. They're not particularly big stones these, but they're quite nice anyway. Nice feature. Anyway, we're going onwards in that direction now. I'm now heading away from the rocks and towards near Black Clough, which is that valley just over there. So I don't think there's a path here, but hopefully there's a path once we get to the valley. I bumped into a couple of other people at the rocks who I think are heading the same direction as me. But I'm trailblazing, so if I go the wrong way and turn around, I'll probably see them again. Okay, so I've come down from the stones up there and across the moor, and this is the little valley I was aiming for, and here is the path, which actually looks relatively well used. And over there you can see a big traffic jam on the road. But I'm going the other way, so it doesn't matter for me. Still coming down near Bleaklow, but I thought it was just really interesting. All of these rowan trees all in one spot. This must just be ideal rowan tree ground for some reason. So we've left the land of the rowan tree and we're now descending through the land of the birch trees. What will we encounter next? Mushrooms. Not an edible one. Oh, well, this is a lovely spot. No camping. What a lovely spot. Something tells me there is a high risk of fires around here. So I'd not actually realised these were here until I got up to the car park up there and two lads were telling me about it. But this is one end of the famous Woodhead Tunnels, and it's quite an interesting little area. They've got a little information board telling you about the history and this sort of restored station area, and you can see now, because they run the power lines through it, or they run power cables through it. That's where the pylons go to ground and the cables run through here and into that tunnel, which is the most recent of the three, which was completed in 1953. The two to the left are old Victorian tunnels, which were closed when the new one was finished. So yeah, really interesting bit of history. Sadly, no trains running through them now. So the Woodhead Tunnels come out just under there, and after that I've climbed up this steep bank, across the road, and I'm now heading up this path. There's only a little bit of ascent here, and I'll just follow a succession of paths and bridleways back to the car over there. So I'm nearly up to the byway, which I'll be following east for a little bit, which I think you can just make out over there. Before it was a really nice viewpoint. There's a rather ominous looking cloud over there, so hopefully I'll stay mostly dry, but I'm not sure. Now we've come across a wild mobile phone mast. So I presume when I get past this, I'm going to have full bars 4G, maybe. Or I think that's good enough. So I'm next to a road now, which I could walk back on to the car, but that wouldn't be very nice at all and probably dangerous in places. So I'll be following the permissive bridleway here, which I think leads on to another path. So this is one corner of Woodhead Reservoir here. So this bridleway crosses over this little bridge now and heads up to the road, which I think it joins for a little bit before breaking off again, just a few hundred metres to the west. This is nice. There's actually a segregated bit of a bridleway that runs parallel to the road, so even better than a pavement. So just walking along, that's the dam at the bottom of the Woodhead Reservoir over there. We've come across this gate. I think I've seen a couple of broken ones of these before, but this one seems to actually work. And what an elaborate gate closing mechanism. So you, I mean, this bit's a bit broken, but you open it and it pulls that cable through there. And there's a little weight, I presume, inside that metal tube getting brought up and down. So, but yeah, I've never seen something that elaborate before. Usually the most complicated gate closing thing you get is a rock on a chain. There've also been a bunch of these little posts saying NHR on one side, and oh, the other one said NEA on the other side. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, onwards. So we're coming up to what looks like a very remote little chapel. And there really isn't much around here. There's a house down there, but nothing else. So I wonder why it's here. There we go. There's a broken example. All the other ones I've seen have been broken. How interesting. There's still stuff in there. Well, I think that might be a bit of broken roof there. Here we go. St James Chapel Woodhead, Independent Evangelical Church, Minister Paul Bryson. Services alternate Sundays at 6:30. I presume the fact that this is around here means it's disused.
Overall, I had a good day and enjoyed exploring an area that was new to me. The weather was a little bit grey at times, but I still got great views from up high and avoided getting rained on, so I can't complain. Highlights for me were walking across the interesting moorland on Bleaklow and coming across the pleasant wooded valley leading down to the Woodhead Tunnels portals. Finally, just to close out, here's a clip of the pup, who has grown considerably since he moved in.
Thanks for watching, see you next time.